It's Lindsay, and it's August 27th, 2024, and this is a bit of a continuation about some of what I was talking about earlier with this whole gym stuff and how they exploit and target and blacklist and humiliate and degrade and gaslight and smear campaign people when you don't go along with their little agenda that they want you to go along with, because you piss off people. And so the saga continues in my life with this kind of shit. But here's another example of what goes on at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and this happened yesterday. I was at that location on Highway 78, and which is the one I normally go to. And I want to say probably about 7 months ago at least, there's a man who goes there sometimes. I don't see him that much there, but when you go to a place almost every day, or pretty much every day, you get pretty familiar with the people there and the faces. You might not know them by name, but you're familiar with their face usually, so you know what I mean? You see them all the time, so you might not know them by name, but you know them by recognize who they are, or just recognize them. So I already, so anyway, this man, and this was about 7 months ago, I was in the parking lot trying to leave, okay? I had just worked out. I was exhausted. I wanted to get out, go home, go get out of there. And so he stops me in the parking lot, right? It's already like 12 o'clock. It's time for me to go. I'm exhausted. Like I said, I drive all the way the fuck out there all the time, which is a good 20-minute drive, depending on the traffic. So it's a long drive for me to go there every fucking day like that, right? And it's, I take it seriously. And these people mock the shit out of me there. They're just horrible. They do that to me there as well. They're just mean. People are mean. And of course, it's usually a lot of ex-veteran or military police, or whatever the fuck they are, order followers or control freaks that do this kind of thing. Personality disordered hypocrites who are control freaks. That's what those are the kinds of people that are drawn to those kinds of government jobs, controlling control freaks. So, our military, it's like complete opposite of who I am. So I was in the parking lot ready to leave, and then he stops me. He's like walking around. He walks right in my way, like I'm trying to go to my car, and he pretty much like blocks my path. So I'm kind of forced. This is an example of how they force you to interact with them. It's like forced interaction of when you're a targeted individual. People will cross your path or get in your way so that you're forced to have to interact with them, or forced to, look at them or whatever. And this is a common tactic that they use to entrap you in speech, or, take up your time, or get you to talk to them or whatever when maybe you're not in the mood, maybe you just want to be left alone. But this is what they do. This is what these kinds of people do. And it's always mind-boggling to me as to why they behave that way. Like, normal people don't do that. Normal people don't go around stalking or harassing people or trying to corner them or interrogate them and bother them in public. Normal people. But sociopathic people, control freaks, do that. And why they behave like that, I don't know. It's beyond me why they can't just leave people the fuck alone and let them go. But no, there's people out there who literally don't seem to comprehend, for whatever reason, that you don't do that's kind of rude. It's not, it's ill-mannered. And so they're wanting to see how you react by them forcing themselves right in your path. And I'm not trying to be, I'm just saying it for what it is. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is real. So that happened to me, and it happened to be this man who was a black man who always wears a face mask. He'll go to the gym wearing a fucking face mask on, okay? And so he started talking to me in the parking lot, and we started talking. He started telling me how he's in the military and a veteran in the military for however many years, and this, that, and the other, and then at some point in the conversation of him, talking, I said, so what's your name? And he said, and he went like, Mac White. It's like he had to fumble to say his name. It's like he was like, Mac White. And he said it really fast, like he had to hurry up and think of something to say, is what it felt like. And I'm like, okay, Mac White. Interesting. An African-American man with a white shirt, a fucking face mask on, targeting me in the parking lot at Gold's Gym on Walsham in 78. And I was thinking, okay, white, okay. And then, of course, it triggers me to have to think of that white security and Bobby White and Linda White, those people who years ago I was duped into signing some fucking business contract with Bobby White in Longview and his wife Linda. And that was like in 2009 when he recruited me from some kind of student email from Penn Foster online when I was getting my thing in private investigation course. Okay, this man basically recruited me. He somehow got my information, my student email account, and just kind of started, got really interested in trying to sponsor me for a license for that. This man named Bobby White of Longview, Texas, with White Security. And he had a private investigation company and some kind of a private security thing, okay? So anyway, of course, this man happened to be Mac White, right? And so that triggers me to think about that shit. And you see how they do all this crap to make you think about your past, to make you think and get paranoid about that they're out to get you or that their government's watching you. And you see how it's all done. At least in my life, there's no coincidence when these kinds of people. And it just so happens that at the Gold's Gym over there, it's 78 in Converse or Kirby, whatever. Yeah, it's mostly a lot of the people who go there are black. Well, I don't know if blacks, African Americans, and they're decent people. They seem like nice, decent people to me. Most of them, for the most part, I can get along with them just fine, and they're nice to me. Most of them, they just leave me the fuck alone. Some of them though, some of them seem really interested in talking to me. And I've had conversations with some of the people, and that's cool. I'm cool with a lot of them, like on a friendly, what's up basis. Yeah, they're cool with me, and I'm cool with them. No big deal. I've met a woman named Janice, and she had told me that she was in the military. She's from Chicago, and a long time ago, she joined the military based on a bet or something, she told me. I talked to her, or, I'm acquaintance with her, so I see her there sometimes. There's another man, a man named Charles, who I sometimes talk to. He's a cool guy, black guy, he's cool. Whatever, okay? And I've spoken with this man, Mac. We had that conversation, Mac White, once in the parking lot, and he just talks a lot. He's very talkative, but he seems harmless. He just talks a lot, which, okay, whatever. It's okay. Some people like to talk a lot. I understand. It's just that some people can be pushy and aggressive, but this man, he just likes to talk. But I don't see him there that much. Okay, whatever, but I recognize him. See, I know I'm familiar with the people who go there because I'm there every day, and so I see the same people, and I'm familiar with them, and some of them are very friendly with me. They wave, they say hi, and half of them I don't know. I've never talked to them at all. But you know what I mean? That's just how it is when you go to the same place every day. And so I've been going there every day for a long time, for a year and a half, over a year. So yeah, they're familiar with me. And some of them fucking hate me, and some of them I don't like that much either, but big deal. I still go there. I just ignore them. If the thing with me is, mature adults know how to just ignore. If you don't like somebody, it's like common sense to just kind of avoid them or ignore them. That's what I do. I just don't really engage with them. I just kind of avoid them, and I don't let them get to me. I don't let them. If they try to get in my way or interfere, I just ignore them. I don't respond. It's like it's a matter of not responding to what they're doing. Okay, that's what I just don't respond, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to look at them. You just don't respond. It's really easy, and that's what you have to do in order to survive when you're a targeted person. Because there's always people that, for whatever reason, And I don't care. Good if they don't like me. Good if they don't like my viewpoints. I don't give a shit. I probably don't like yours either. So what? Yeah, so I'm entitled to my own opinion in way of life. If you don't like it, well, I don't like maybe I don't like your way of life either. But I'm not going to go out and fucking gang stalk you and cause problems for you. Because I don't, what the fuck kind of person is going to do, what kind of loser is going to do that? In my opinion, why bother somebody if you don't like them? Just leave them alone. Let go, walk away, leave them alone. That's what I think. That's the best thing to do, is just walk away. Are you tied to that person? Are you financially obligated to them? Do they owe you money? Otherwise, why the fuck would they, why do they harass people? They act like they want to intimidate you and scare you. It's like, you're not my fucking handler. You're not what do you want from me? What the fuck do you want? They act like they have control or authority over. They try to present themselves like they're these authority figures. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Just because you're a fucking military or ex-cop or whatever, do you really think I'm going to bow down to someone just because of that? I don't give a shit. I don't believe in that kind of crap. I believe in something called anarchy, and look at that up if you don't fucking know what that means. I fucking hate the government. I don't like this authority figure shit, and I just kind of they annoy the fucking crap out of me sometimes because they're control freaks. A lot of them, they have a power control issue, and it's usually something of their insecurity stemming from their childhood neglect or abandonment, and this is how they behave. They have to be in control of people, especially women. And those kinds of people I try to avoid because they're just annoying. They're toxic to me. I'm not like that. And they're usually very anti-free speech, anti this. And they're just very closed-minded, kind of hive-minded types. And I just don't really jive too well with those kinds of people because they're usually, people who present themselves that way. They're very stalkerish, and they stalk and they harass and interrogate people, and there's a lot of people like that. And but anyway, so this man, and I'm not necessarily saying he's like that, but he was extremely forward and very aggressive with trying to get my attention. So I was talking to him. I ended up talking to that man about 7 months ago in the parking lot, and he wouldn't let. It's like I was trying to be nice and kind of hinting that I needed to go, and he kept talking, and it's like, I have to go, and then he'd talk more. I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to get going. I have to drive a lot. And he just, okay, just to keep me talking or keep talking, you know what I mean? Those kinds of people. And so then, yesterday, I was there at the gym, right? And guess who? And I don't see, like I said, he's not there that much, or I don't see him that much. Maybe he goes at a different time, whatever. But I'm on the treadmill, and then all of a sudden he gets on the one right next to me. And there's this other man who I saw walking up, and he gets on that treadmill, and they start talking, shooting the shit. And I'm trying to just, I'm not really paying attention to what they're saying because whatever, let them talk. That's what people do. I understand, but I'm there to exercise and focus and listen to my fucking music and get my workout in, and try not to get distracted by this shit. But they love to try to distract you and make talk really loud, so that you can hear everything they're saying. And they do this stuff to me all the time everywhere I go. And I really just ignore it. I just act like I can't, like I'm deaf sometimes. Like I just have to avoid having to run my mouth, to avoid the exhaustion of interacting with people. So anyway, he's doing that. And ironically enough, I had made a video, the day before I was talking about how I had done a painting once of Abraham Lincoln years ago during that Katrina hurricane thing, and about how I was a bit of an abolitionist, how I don't believe in slavery of any kind, and because I don't, I do not, but I'm not necessarily, I don't believe in that anybody should ever be a slave of anybody, but I did go on a rant about how the Jewish people, which is a tribe, a Khazarian and Sephardic Jews, or they think, they in general, they don't like people of European descent, and they try to turn everybody against people of European descent because they have this animosity and they see them as being an enemy for whatever reason. A lot of them do, and this is a fact. And they make everybody think that they're the white Caucasians are the racists, when in fact the Jews are the ones who are spreading all that propaganda shit with their propaganda media. They're creating it, you see, and people buy into the lie. And this is what they do. This is just, look it up and research this. This is something they're notorious for doing. And people need to understand that this is just something that they do. It's part of their DNA. It's like they can't help it. They feel like they're a victim. They feel that everybody is against them and that they have to victimize themselves to make it look like, oh, I'm a Jew and this and that, and look at me. This is what I don't know why they do that, but they seem to do that a lot. And so it turns everybody against each other, and they create all this fucking chaos and crap. And hey, aren't they the ones who control the media and propaganda? Yeah. They're the ones who create the fucking wars. Yeah. They're the ones who created slavery. Yes. The banking. Yeah. So, hello, duh. And people act like they don't have control over everything. They're a small percentage of the population, but they fucking control everything, everybody's money, the feds. These people are notorious for being white-collar criminals. And some of them, and they are, because I've known my share of them and had experience with some of them, and I have experience to validate myself about what some of them do, working for them, living with them. I know how evil they can be against quote-unquote goyim, non-Jews. And I'm sorry to sound like this, but this is a fucking facts, reality. Just research this shit. Because it's real. This stuff is real. And you'll hear a lot of angry military, ex-military, going on rants and raves on BitChute about Jews and about the war and this, that, and the other. And why? Because they're pissed off that they were cajoled or manipulated into joining the fucking military only to have their fucking lives destroyed by some fake war on terror shit or spreading democracy and crap like that. It's like they realize that everything's a fucking lie, but it's too late usually, or some of them are very angry for the fact that they were in the military and the way they get treated by society. If you're not in the fucking military, in this country, they blacklist you if you're not all pro-Israeli social communist shit here. And this is the way it is in this country. They if you're not pro-Israeli, pro-communist, pro-social communism, they blacklist you. They steal your money. They steal your property, your finances. They do. This is what they try to do. So anyway, that man, back to what I was saying about this Mac White dude at Gold's Gym. So it's like all this stuff. It's like they seem to think that I am so stupid that I don't pay attention to all the little signs and synchronicities that they do to me to try to force me to react to their gang stalking shit, because this is a form of subtle harassment towards me, their target. And if you don't see it, believe me, really, I don't care. But I go through this every single day with black people, with certain minorities, with whoever. Targeting me is like a scapegoat. And I'm just supposed to take all their shit and act like it's not happening and not defend myself from all the gossip, smear campaign crap that a lot of them do. And it's like, the question I have is, why do they do that? Why do they have to go to that extreme to target somebody who's just minding their own business, not fucking doing anything? Why do they do that? Why? But no one's going to answer that question. You have to come up with your own answers as to why, but this is what they do. It's like predatory gang stalking, gaslighting on a massive level. Unnecessary just to target somebody. Using the fucking media, using all this fucking propaganda, silly fucking military contracting shit. Yeah, they do this to me, and I should know. I know all too well about it. And that's another example of gangs, what just I said about this man. That's another example, and the shit they do at the gym to try to get me to react to their shit all the time, people. And when you ignore them, they act like little children. If you just ignore them, because all they want is you to react, they want your attention. And when you just ignore them, and just, go about doing what you do. They act out like little children, like pouty little 5-year-olds when you don't respond to their street theater or gang stalking crap. They act like little children, like arrested development adults with it's like they have no filter. It's like, why is that? Why is it that some people just don't seem to know how to behave properly in a public place? Like, I might hate certain people, in which I do. I dislike a lot, and but I know how to turn the fucking switch off in public, because inevitably you're going to be around all kinds of fucking people on a daily basis of whatever that you don't like or want to be. But I don't have a fucking choice. I just ignore them, or I just don't pay attention. But I know how to turn. But they have to make sure, they want to shove themselves in my way to get me to react. It's like, I don't have to fucking respond or react to these people. I don't want to, and I'm not going to. But this is what they try to force themselves, force you to react or respond, so as to make you react in a way that discredits you, that makes you look crazy or delusional, so that they can further have an excuse to gang stalk and harass you. Why? I don't fucking know why, but this is the fucking shit these people do.